I am so honored today as president of Miami University to express our gratitude to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force. On behalf of the entire university, thank you for accepting the call to serve Miami in such an important, impactful, and transformative way. This summer, the nation and world stood in solidarity after the slaying of George Floyd in police custody and many others. We said loud and clear, this must end now. Black Lives Matter. We stand with all who seek reform and transformation to put an end to racism and violence in our community, in our country, and in our world. Our DEI task force has established a transformative vision for change. They focused on solidarity with those who drive positive change. They welcomed input from our community across all of our campuses, the alumni network, partners, and so many others. They identified and focused on 5 foundational pillars: dialogue and allyship, cultural consciousness, advocacy and partnership, structural and resource support, and inclusion and accountability. We are all grateful for their incredible work, dedication, and passion for positive change. Now, we honor and thank them. I wish we could all be together in person to express our appreciation and admiration. I am delighted that Dr. Vicka Bell Robinson and Dr. Anthony James, the task force co-chairs, are with me today to honor the task force members. Vicka and Anthony, thank you so much for your collaborative and service leadership of the DEI task force. The work of your task force will bring about meaningful and lasting change that elevates Miami's culture of inclusive excellence.
It has been my honor to serve as co-chair of the President's DEI task force with the phenomenal Dr. Anthony James. I am truly appreciative of the opportunity to lead this group of talented faculty, staff, and students. I recall attending the first task force meeting led by Dr. Crawford. I was curious about who might be in the room and how our journey would unfold. Much to my delight, our group was made up of some of the most talented, committed, community-focused individuals on campus. This group dove into uncharted waters at a time when the whole university was watching, some waiting for us to fail, and others hopeful that we would be able to finally move the university forward. You were unafraid and unshaken by the pressure. With an incredibly limited timeline in the midst of the pandemic, this group volunteered countless hours to produce high-quality recommendations which position Miami to be unmatched in our commitment to creating a better tomorrow. Whether it was Rodney Coates serving as a keynote for our Juneteenth celebration, Amy Shaman being WebEx host during our week of town halls, or the plethora of other ways people stepped up, the success of this task force is due to the efforts of each and every person, no matter how long they served. In addition to our collective work efforts, 6 individuals answered a different call for leadership and served on the core team. We are especially grateful to Tara Trueblood, Jim Shively, Daryl Rice, Spencer Izar, Mark Taylor, and John Foran for their leadership. It has been my pleasure to get to know and work with you. As we stand in this spot, now named for the first African American graduate, we know that our work has left an indelible mark on this community. Thank you all for your service to the task force and university. You've made us better.
Greetings, Miami community. My name is Anthony James, and I am the Interim Vice President for Institutional Diversity and Inclusion. I served as the co-chair of the President's DEI Task Force during the summer of 2020. When President Crawford first presented to me the idea of the task force and my potential role as co-chair, I knew it would be a massive undertaking. Even more so when considering that we were in the midst of a global pandemic and that the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery had shaken our country and many places abroad to their very core. Miami University, like many other institutions, was at a crossroad. President Crawford issued a charge to the community to enact transformations by centering DEI and strengthening our commitment to love and honor for all members of the community. I was fully impressed by not only the number of people who also accepted the President's call to service, but also by the quality of experience, skill, compassion, and work ethic they possessed. These community members volunteered their tools and talents to this endeavor, upwards of more than 10 hours per week. Moreover, they did this virtually while also engaging in the tough work of helping the institution transition more towards remote learning. While the task force had its share of frustration and hiccups, It was the task force members' thoughtfulness and care that helped us craft together 44 recommendations that we believe can help us be a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive community. I am truly thankful to have served as a co-chair of this task force and cherish the meaningful interactions I've had with each of you, particularly my co-chair, Dr. Vicka Bell Robinson, and our pillar team leaders. I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you for your service and look forward to the day we can come together face-to-face to fellowship and celebrate moving our institution towards reaching its full potential. Thank you.
Today, we are presenting members of the DEI Task Force with several honors, citations, and recognitions to express our deepest gratitude and to pay tribute to you for your service. First, we have framed a presidential proclamation and 2 ceremonial coins, the President's Medallion and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion coin. The proclamation formally recognizes, honors, and thanks each of you for your diligent, determined, and transformative efforts as members of the DEI Task Force. Your efforts inspire us all and uphold the highest virtues and qualities of our mission and purpose as an institution. The President's Medallion was created in 2016 to honor those who uphold the Miami University values of love and honor and embody them in their personal and professional lives. The medallion symbolizes our values and principles. Our seal with the motto, Prodesse quam conspici, calls us to greatness with humility. The declaration, I am Miami, the opening line in our code of love and honor, articulates our highest expectations for ourselves as individuals and as a community. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion coin is awarded in the spirit of Freedom Summer of 1964. It honors Western College's proud past that inspires us to build an inclusive future. It is presented to honor and recognize those who live the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We also have for each member an autographed copy of Showdown, Thurgood Marshall and the Supreme Court nomination that changed America by our very own alum, Will Haygood, class of 1976. Showdown recounts the nomination and appointment of Thurgood Marshall as the nation's first black justice on the United States Supreme Court. Let me read a note from Will Haygood directly to our DEI task force. I sit here in Washington, D.C., gripped with the awareness that many across the world have begun to ponder the fate of our beloved nation. These past few years have exposed the fragility in America when it comes to racial inequality and the systemic damage it continues to spill across the land. This scourge must be defeated, which is why I'm so proud of the work President Crawford set about for you to tackle. The work of the DEI Task Force and the path ahead you've carved gives one hope for this battle ahead. Thank you for your important work you have done. In my book, Showdown, I wrote that Thurgood Marshall spent 30+ years living on the road, out of suitcases, trooping in and out of courtrooms filing lawsuits because he was trying to stitch Black America into the American flag. He was trying to make America live up to its promise. Your work lights a way. And finally, we have proclamations and citations from the City of Oxford, signed by Mayor Smith, and from the Ohio Senate, signed by Senator Coley. Thank you so much for your service on the DEI Task Force. Your efforts have already produced results. Today, we are recording from Nellie Craig Hall. Nellie Craig, who graduated in 1905, was Miami University's first Black graduate. The DEI Task Force recommended naming a building in her honor. We are so honored to be at Nellie Craig Hall today. Beyond naming the hall, we have initiated other DEI Task Force recommendations. Police training by Dr. Rodney Coates, a more than $1.25 million Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Fund to support this work, and an afternoon of reflection on Juneteenth. Today, I honor the Western College Alumni Association with the President's Proclamation and Medallion of formal gratitude for their long-standing partnership, unwavering support of decades, their generous gift, and their powerful mission around civil rights, diversity, inclusion, and equity. We are so grateful for the task force, our dedicated faculty, students, staff, and community members, and we are honored to thank them and recognize them today. You have been authentic agents for positive, transformative changes across all of our campuses and the entire Miami community, nation, and world. Thank you. Love and honor.